Hello, welcome to the fourth video of the lecture set, the video project. Today we're going to be talking about excess glucose and excess carbohydrate consumption and why that's bad. So first off, like we've mentioned in previous videos, if you're eating too many carbohydrates, your body is just going to store it as fat. The excess carbs are going to be shipped off to the liver to be converted into triglycerides. And that's obviously bad because, like we talked about before, the visceral fat storage will go up. Your liver will become fatty, and you don't want that to happen. And next, I'll talk about insulin. So you probably have heard about insulin. You probably take insulin since you've been, a chronic diabetic for a long time. But this insulin spike will eventually lead to insulin resistance, where your cells aren't able to get the signal from insulin, and that causes your body to just keep producing more insulin, and your body can't produce it and take in that glucose. Or sorry, your body can produce it, but your body can't take in the glucose and use that insulin. So this is insulin resistance, ultimately leading to diabetes. Excess carbohydrate will cause cortisol release, and cortisol is a molecule, a stress hormone, that triggers anxiety. It causes ruminating thoughts, and just not good to have this cortisol, constantly released. And also, glucose is a fuel for cancerous tissue. So that in and of itself, that excessive growth is really bad. And then chronic high levels can result in the polyol pathway, which is, if you have ever felt any degeneration of your nerves, and loss of eyesight or kidney failure, this is the reason why, is because your cells are actually bursting open because of the concentration gradient glucose in this molecule called sorbitol, actually will will break your cells open and destroy them, causing your nerves not to function, your kidneys not to function, your eyesight to be lost. Then obviously, like we talked about in the second video, fructose consumption and the problems that lead with that. So here's a little visual about insulin resistance. Here's a cell that is not insulin sensitive, and this insulin molecule can't bind to the receptor, and the glucose can't come in. So more insulin is going to be produced, and um, you get stuck in this top loop, and eventually your blood sugar will decrease, but it takes much more insulin. And this is bad because, insulin is a fed state, and we don't constantly want to be in the fed state. Whereas healthy cells, your cells are sensitive to insulin, where one insulin molecule can bind to the receptor, opening up the gate for glucose to come in. And this causes metabolic flexibility because you're able to switch between the fed and fasted states. And in the fasted states, you're able to break down fat and use that as energy. But going back to this state, you're not able to actually break down fat. You're constantly breaking down glucose, which will ultimately lead to diabetes.